There are moments on Earth when nature does not whisper, it roars. Moments when the ground beneath our feet, the very foundation of everything we call home, awakens with a force older than oceans, older than mountains, older than life itself. A force that shaped this planet long before humans learned to speak, or dream. Tonight, we witness one of those moments. A night when Kilauea, one of the most active volcanoes on Earth, erupted with such violent beauty, that even the camera built to capture it was destroyed by its power. This is the story of the enormous lava fountain of December 6, 2025. A story of fire, a story of destruction, a story of creation, a story of a living planet breathing before our eyes. Title card: Enormous lava fountain erupts at Kilauea. The night fire consumed the sky. On the southeastern edge of the big island of Hawaii lies a mountain unlike any other. Not tall like Mauna Loa, not ancient like Haleakala, but alive, restless, unpredictable. Kilauea, a volcano that doesn't erupt once per century, it erupts constantly. It is a breathing wound in the Earth's crust, a gateway to the molten heart of the planet. For decades, geologists and explorers have watched it through satellites, seismographs, and webcams, windows into an alien world of glowing calderas, drifting volcanic fog, and rivers of molten rock carving their way across darkness. But on December 6th, one of those webcams witnessed something it was never designed to endure. A colossal lava fountain so tall, so intense, so violently explosive, that it melted steel, burned through protective shielding, and consumed the lens meant to record it. It began with tremors, small at first, like heartbeats beneath the ground. These tremors weren't unusual. Kilauea produces dozens every day. But these were different. Rhythmic, deeper, persistent, like footsteps of something massive climbing toward the surface. Hawaiian Volcano Observatory, audio log. Dr. Kaya Morgan, volcanologist. We've detected a new intrusion of magma beneath the East Rift Zone. Pressure is rising faster than expected. I'm recommending level orange advisory immediately. Deep below Kilauea, magma chambers that had slept for months began to swell. Rock fractured, gas expanded, pressure built until the crust could no longer endure its burden. The Earth was priming itself not for a quiet glow, but for an eruption powerful enough to alter landscapes. Hours passed. The tremors intensified. Residents nearby reported strange sounds, a low, rumbling growl, like distant thunder that never faded. Birds fled forests. Animals grew restless. Even the air felt different. Heavier, warmer, charged with sulfur and heat rising from cracks in the ground. The prelude was ending. At exactly 7:42 p.m., seismic instruments registered a violent spike. A fracture tore open across the crater floor. At first, steam, then gas, then light. A brilliant orange glow surged from the earth, twisting, swirling, rising. Within moments, a jet of molten basalt burst skyward, a lava fountain nearly 250 feet high. Dr. Morgan's voice echoed through the observatory. When fountains reach that height, you're not looking at a lava flow. You're looking at a blowtorch the size of a skyscraper. The crater webcam adjusted automatically, capturing the moment the fountain exploded upward, shimmering like a fiery geyser in the darkness. The eruption had begun. Within minutes, the fountain intensified. What started as a 250-foot plume rose beyond 400 feet, then 600, forming a fire column so massive it turned the night sky volcanic red. Ash and storm clouds mixed with incandescent shards of molten rock, each glowing like a falling star. Explosions boomed from within the fountain as trapped gas bubbles burst violently. Lightning flickered across the plume. Volcanic lightning. Rare, electrifying, terrifyingly beautiful. The webcam shook with each roaring burst. But it kept streaming, documenting nature in its most primal form. By 8:15 p.m., scientists were stunned. The lava fountain had reached nearly 1,000 feet, rivaling skyscrapers, dwarfing anything Kilauea had produced in years. Heat from the fountain exceeded 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 1,093 degrees Celsius, enough to melt aluminum and warp steel. More fissures cracked open across the crater floor, feeding the glowing lake of molten rock below. The ground vibrated like a drum struck by a cosmic hand. The volcano wasn't erupting. It was unleashing everything it had stored for months. At the crater rim, the webcam continued streaming to thousands worldwide. But it wasn't built for this. The heat wave reached it first. Colors distorted, pixels glitched, the lens fogged from superheated air. Webcam footage, last moments. Flashes of white, distorted frames, a shimmering wave bending the air like a mirage. Then, the fountain surged sideways. A massive jet of lava arced toward the rim. It didn't hit the camera directly. It didn't need to. The radiant heat alone was enough. Plastic warped, glass cracked, internal circuits melted. The final frame was a screen of blinding orange light. Then, darkness. The camera died. When the livestream went dark, panic spread across social media. Did the eruption get worse? As the camera destroyed, what's happening at Kilauea right now? But on the ground in Hawaii, people gathered at safe hilltops, watching the sky turn red. Some praying, some filming, some simply silent. For many native Hawaiians, this wasn't just geology. It was cultural heritage. Pele, the goddess of volcanoes, expressing her power. The eruption was destructive, but it was also sacred. Scientists raced to understand what was unfolding. Dr. Morgan, this is the most intense continuous fountain we've recorded in over a decade. The magma supply is far stronger than predicted. The eruption rate was colossal. Tens of thousands of gallons of lava per second, enough to fill an Olympic pool in under a minute. Gas emissions spiked. Thermal cameras overheated. Instruments struggled to cope with temperatures that pushed the limits of modern engineering. There was no stopping it, only observing it from a safe distance. While the fountain raged skyward, lava began spilling over the northern edge of the crater. At first it oozed, glowing gently. Then gravity took over, and the flow accelerated, transforming into a river of fire. It consumed everything: shrubs, old crust, cracks, stone. The lava river branched into glowing fingers reaching outwards. If directed toward populated areas, it would have been catastrophic. Fortunately, this time, geography offered protection. But the message was clear. When Kilauea awakens, nothing can stand in its way. We often imagine the earth is solid and still. But here, in the presence of fire rising from the mantle, that illusion shatters. The planet is alive. It moves. It breathes. It reshapes itself. Every lava fountain is a message from deep within, from a world beyond human reach. Destruction and creation, bound in the same molten breath. Hours passed. By midnight, the eruption still showed no signs of slowing. The fountain dipped to 600 feet, then roared back to 900. Shockwaves rippled through the air. The crater floor churned like an ocean of glowing metal. Heat distorted the air for miles. Volcanic gases drifted across towns. Ash fell like dark snow, leaving a thin, eerie coating on cars and rooftops. Scientists in field shelters shielded their faces as heat pulses rolled in waves across the crater rim. It was relentless, terrifying, majestic. As dawn approached, the fountain finally began to shrink. Slowly, gradually, like a giant exhaling after a night of fury. By early morning, it stabilized at around 150 feet. Still powerful, still dangerous, but no longer monstrous. The crater had transformed completely. A new lava lake, new fissures, a fresh landscape carved by fire. Kilauea had spent its rage, for now. When researchers retrieved the remnants of the destroyed webcam, they found it fused into a single melted mass. The metal warped, the lens shattered, the circuit boards burned, yet the footage it captured, those final blazing moments before destruction, would become some of the most important volcanic recordings of the decade. Shared across the world, used in documentaries, studies, and analyses. A final gift from a camera consumed by the fire it tried to capture. But this eruption was more than a spectacle, more than a story about destruction, more than beautiful footage for scientists and viewers. It was a reminder that Earth is not a quiet planet, that its heart still burns, that deep beneath the crust, forces far greater than human civilization are constantly moving, shaping, creating. Volcanoes do not obey our predictions. They do not follow human schedules. They remind us that we live on a world that is always changing. December 6, 2025 proved that. In the years ahead, scientists will study this eruption extensively. Gas compositions, magma pathways, pressure curves, eruption models. Every detail helps us understand the next eruption, because Kilauea will erupt again. And the people of Hawaii will remember the night the sky turned red. The night the ground thundered. The night fire lit the clouds. The night a humble webcam captured its last frame before being overtaken by the volcano's wrath. A night of destruction, and a night of creation. Because the fire that destroys is the same fire that builds new land, that grows islands, that shapes earth. Kilauea sleeps again, but the fire beneath does not die. It waits, it gathers, it prepares. One day, it will rise again. Fade out.